Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. I'm so incredibly excited. I know I say that every time, but I'm so incredibly excited because it is month 9 of Are You Game? That means we have this month and then next month we get to see how this puzzle finally comes together. So let's go ahead and get started with clue number 9. Okay, before we get started, I did want to mention this sheet. You should have received this from Cotton Cuts. It's the getting ready for the finish. Since we are on clue number 9, we're almost there. And this tells you how to take your quilt from the standard size for the small. In my case, I'm doing the small one, so they sent me the small size, which is 48 by 60 inches. When you add the borders, you can actually make it 57 by 69. This gives you all the information that you need, such as suggested fabrics and the amount that you'll need and how much extra binding you'll need and all that kind of stuff. So this is really good to have on hand if you're going to be increasing the size of your quilt to a little bit bigger. I am 6 foot 2 inch and I like to have bigger quilts, so I've started adding that extra border on because it does give you that extra little bit of space. So it's really helpful to have that whenever I do that. So I always make mine a little bit bigger, but it's completely up to you. All right, everybody, it is time for clue number 9. This looks like it's going to be a fun one to put together, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what comes in this kit. I, of course, have my fabric guide out and ready to go. Let's open up the package and see what's inside. Remember, everybody, this is our penultimate clue, so this is really the last one we're going to be sewing together for, we're going to be sewing the whole quilt together, but this is pretty much the penultimate one, and I'm so excited about that because I cannot wait to see what this quilt looks like when it's all put together. All right, first thing we have here, we have 8 rectangles of F. I have 8 triangles of E. I have 8 triangles of C. I have 8 rectangles of D fabric, and then I also have 2 squares of D fabric, and that's it. That's all that's in this one. We get some really fun clues, as you can see up here at the top, so let's go ahead and start putting them together. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start with step number 1 for section 9. We're gonna make 2 of these. So when it says we're making 4 of them, we're actually making 8 in total, right? So we're gonna make 8 of these half square triangles. We're going to join triangles of C fabric and E fabric, and we're gonna press towards C. So I'm just gonna lay these over just like that, and I'm gonna sew along my long line right here. And that has a mathematical term, but hypotenuse, that one. We're gonna sew across our hypotenuse, and we're gonna make 4, which in actuality, we're actually doing 8 in total. So let's go ahead and sew that together. Okay, I am now pressing this towards my C fabric, like the instructions have said. I have done 8 of them, and I try to get that as perfect as possible, and never really truly works out, but there we go. All right, so we have 8 of those half square triangles. I'm going to set them off to the side because we're moving on to step 2. All right, for step number 2, we got another easy and simple task in front of us. All we're going to do is join a rectangle of D and F together. We're going to press this towards D, and we're going to make 4, which again in actuality means we're making 8 of these. So let's go ahead and make 8. Okay, I've made all 8 of those, and now I'm pressing towards my D fabric, which in my case is the green fabric. And we made 8 of those that look just like that. Let's go ahead and move on to step number 3. It is now time to move on to step number 3, and what we're going to do is we're going to join step 1 to the left and to the right of step 2, so that way we have something that looks like this. We're going to do this 2 times, which means in actuality we're doing it 4 times because we need 2 for the top and 2 for the bottom on each of our clues. So let's go ahead and put these together. All right, I have completed that step, and now, well, I haven't quite completed yet because now I've got to press, and I'm pressing towards step 2. It might get a little hard to do that because there's a little bit of bulk. Yeah, it's trying to bunch up in all sorts of different ways. So there may be a little bulk here as you are trying to get these all pressed out, but you're going to press towards the inner part, or step number 2. And that's what it should look like when you're done. So you have the D fabric up here on top, F fabric on the bottom, E fabric inwards, C fabric outwards. All right, we're gonna move on to step number 4. It says to join step 2 to both the left and the right of a square of D fabric. And we're gonna press this towards step 2, and we're gonna make 2 of these. It says 1 in here, but remember we're making 2 clues at the same time, so we're making 2 of these together, and it should look something like this whenever we're finished. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, I have sewn that together, and now it says to press towards step 2. So it's gonna be outwards. And that's because the last time we did it to step 2 on when we were working with step number 3. And so now these should, hopefully, the seam allowances and seams should be nice and shouldn't have a lot of bulk. I didn't explain that very well, but basically we're pressing them out so that way whenever we put the other clues on, they should kind of match up nicely. It'll make sense when you actually do it. All right, so there is step number 4 all completed. Let's go ahead and move on to step number 5. And this is where it all comes together for step number 5. We're gonna join step 3, which is this one and this one, to the top and bottom of step number 4, and we're gonna press towards 3. So when it all comes together, it should look something like this. And remember, we're making 2 of them, so let's go ahead and do that. So there we go, here's step number 5. We press towards our top and our bottom. You may notice I have some fuzzies up there because I definitely sewed this strip backwards by mistake. So learn from my mistakes and make sure that you're sewing from the right direction. Not a big deal though, just a quick little seam rip and put it back on in the right place. I just am super happy that my points for the most part line up very nicely. All right, there we go, guys. We've put together both clues. Ignore some of the fuzzies on mine. I was using black thread, as you can see. But anyways, we are done. We are done with clue 9. We have 2 of these. Make sure to label them with either clue 9 or section 9, whatever helps you remember which one this one is. And we're done, guys. We're done until we get clue number 10. And don't forget, clue number 10 will come via email first. So that way everybody gets it at the same time. I'm so excited to see how this finally goes together, and I can't wait to see everybody's colorways. Thanks for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I'm making it my goal in 2021 to hit 100,000 subscribers, but I need your help to make that happen. Take a moment and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then don't forget to check out the other great videos that I have here on my channel. Also, share this video with your friends and tell them to come check out the Off Kilter Crafter.